Pro Sound Studio, Super on the Go podcast. I'm here with Gillian Sumpter, author of Crush Your Fear of Flying, owner of KZM Enterprise and consulting agencies. How you doing, Jill?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm good, man. So tell the people a little something about Jill.
Tell you something about Jill. Well, I am an author and I'm also a business consultant. So I've been a business consultant for about 3 years now, and I help diverse business and local business in Harrisburg get started from like taxation, apply for LLC, apply for grants, just a whole build up from the beginning of starting their business. So that's what my consulting agency does. My career, I'm a HIV medical case manager, so I work for a hospital. Been doing that for about 10 years. So I'm like deep in the business game, like I know it ins and outs when it comes to business and getting started with businesses. So.
Straight up. So everybody know my show. I like to talk to the entrepreneurs, the black entrepreneurs coming up in this city. You know, and Jill definitely is one of them. So you talked about being in business, or at least you said you was, for 10 years, you was.
I've had a career for 10 years.
You had a career for 10 years, but as far as the business, the black entrepreneur, how long you been?
I dibbled and dabbled and stuff prior to actually launching my consulting agency. But I basically I actually graduated from college. I went to business college and learned about business management and everything like that. So I just apply everything that I learned in my career and what I learned for life experience and turn it into my own business, to something to leave for my kids. So KZM stands for Kyer, Zion, and Malaya. Those are my children. So that's where that name came from. And I was like, I know if I put my kid's name behind this thing, like it was going to just take off. And I would never be able to give up on it. And it's just been blessed since the inception of it.
So you said basically like once you put the kid stamp on it, that means mama go harder.
That's it.
Straight up. Mm-hmm. So, and now you've been doing it so long now that you're starting to help other people out with their businesses.
Right.
So if somebody wanted to get in contact with you, you know, basically like say I got this idea, you know, I want to sell shirts. You know what I mean? I want to have my T-shirt going to be the new T-shirt in the hood. Do I need to come see you, or can I just start selling my T-shirts?
Right. So what I typically tell people to do is to reach out to me through my email address. Of course, social media, people feel like they can get in contact with you directly through Instagram and, you know, Messenger. I try to dub all that and just tell them, like, send me an email. That way I know that you're serious. And then when people are serious, then we talk about prices, you know, and go from there. I do offer like a 15-minute consultation so I can better understand what it is that people want first before I just take people's money. And it also lets me know if you're serious or not. Because a lot of people want to do these business things. They want to put their names on stuff, but they're not really serious and taking those actual steps that you need. You need a business mentor. You need a financial person, somebody you can go to as far as accounting and all that different type of stuff. So, that's basically the process. It just lets me know if you're serious or not. If you take those extra steps to email me, do the consultation, and we can go from there.
So I can just start selling my shirts if I just, you know.
If you wanted to.
Yeah. But is that the proper way to do it?
I don't advise people to do that. I always tell people to reach out to somebody that knows what they're doing. Because prior to me doing KZM consulting and stuff like that, I did T-shirts, I did a clothing line. I did this and I did that. I didn't have a business mentor. I went into this mentality with my ego like, oh, I could do this on my own. And that's not how it happened. I had to get a business mentor. I had to get people that I wanted to speak life into me. I had to get people that I trusted around me. It wasn't something that I could do on my own. So that's what I just try to encourage my clients. And like what makes my business stand out from other of my competition is that I try to build a rapport with my clients and let them know, like, I'm accessible. I'm here for you if you need to talk. I'm not going to charge you for every 2 minutes that we talk. You might have an idea. You might wake up in the middle of the night and be like, yo, I need to talk. Send me a text message, you know what I mean? And then we're going to figure it out because I didn't have that, you know what I mean? And just try to build, like, relationships with my clients. And everybody that I've worked with and for them, always going to come back and say it was an experience. So that's just how I try to, like, build and how I try to move as far as my business is concerned.
Straight up. So you already know you try and do your business the right way. Like, I ain't talking about just getting your money, putting it in your pocket. You trying to get a bank account started, get that EIN, you know, all the proper steps you need. You got to get in touch with Jill. You feel what I'm saying? Because she could show you the right way. It's like you could start there, but you got to grow. So, you know what I mean? How important is it to building your team? Like how much
so
is important is that?
It's like it's so important because, like I said, 10 years into this, and I don't have a team yet as far as like things that I need, because I try to use my discernment and how I move, and it's like I don't want just anybody around me when I'm doing this. This is serious. This is my baby. These are my kids. My kids is behind this. So it's like I've been in this last couple months of trying to like attract my team, because I need an assistant. I've been saying for so long, like I need an assistant. I have my business is really moving so fast. I have so many clients. Like right now I can't take on any more projects. So it's like I need an assistant. But having a team is important. You can't do it by yourself. I cannot do this by myself. To the point, like when I wrote the book and the books is going out, like my kids is in there helping me. Like I got my son delivering books, my other son packing books, my daughter outside set up a whole table selling books to the neighborhood. Like, so it's like it's moving into now as they're getting older. I know this is going to be something for them. They're going to help me with this, you know what I mean? But until we get to that point where they take it as serious as I do, having a team is important. Like, you have to have good people around you. You have to have people around you want to win. You can't do it by yourself. Yeah. You can't do it by yourself. So
straight up. So that team building is important. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So let's talk about you being an author.
Ooh, let's get into it.
Because that's a step right there. A lot of people don't understand that. And listen, we're going to give them a little game, but we ain't going to tell them everything. You got to put your work in so you can find out how to go from, right, a normal person to an author.
A black author.
You understand what I'm saying? An author. Right. So talk to me about, the inspiration. First, tell me about the name of the book.
Oof. We're going to be here all day.
Just give us a little bit. Give us a little something.
So I have these things where I come up with my best ideas while I'm sleeping, right? So I literally have a paper and pen next to my bed. So when I'm asleep, I come up with these ideas. And I hear things in my sleep. And I hear... I come up with different ideas in my sleep. So I had a dream one day about this title, and I was flying over New York City. New York City is my favorite city to travel to. I love to travel, and that's one of my favorite cities. And I was flying, but I always have these dreams that I'm flying all the time. And in this dream, I was flying, and I was scared. But I heard somebody say, "If I was
on a plane
no,
or
I was
flying,
like
okay, so you
flying.
was
I have
angel.
dreams like that all the time." And I was so scared, and I heard a voice say, "If you weren't made to fly, why would you be flying? If I didn't make you to fly." And so that's where Crush Your Fear of Flying came from. I got up and wrote it down. And I've been trying to write this book for the longest. I would always start with little parts, and it just wouldn't go through. It took a long time for the whole thing to come together. And some people knew about it, and they were like, "When is the book coming out? When is the book coming out? Hurry up with the book." And it was something that I could not rush. And each chapter that I wrote in this book, I was going through it in my life. And it was like I would get stuck on it, and I couldn't finish it. So, like, the relationship chapter, I was stuck on that for a whole year because me and my husband was going through it, okay? I keep it all the way 1,000. Like, me and my husband was going through it, and I could not get through this chapter. No matter how I tried to fake it, no matter how I tried to push it, I couldn't get through the chapter.
What's the name of the chapter? Relationship?
The relationship chapter. So, I mean, it just goes, I'm just saying that to say, like, each thing that I wrote as I was writing this, I was going through it. And it was like, I feel like I was being propelled through it to, like, go through it so I could grow through it, so I could show other people how to move through it. You know what I'm saying? So it took me about 3 years to get the whole book together. When the pandemic hit, we got sent home on a 2-week the stay-at-home order. They put that in order. My job sent me home that day. The kids came home. And I'm a firm believer of maximizing my time and my profit. So I'm like, I'm about to sit in this house for 2 weeks and not do nothing, or you know, people dying. We don't know what's going on. I'm like, I'm not about to sit in this house for however long and not do something with my time. And so it was crazy because I had some money saved up to get this whole project out, and my refrigerator died with all my food in it. So I had to buy a new refrigerator. So then my publisher, the person who helped me publish, the editor, she's telling me how much it costs. And I'm like, all right, I got to come up with this money real quick, but I don't really want to dip in my savings because I don't know what's going on. So then I came up with an idea to sell T-shirts with little terms on them. The T-shirts was sold out. Every time I put out a design, it sold out. I sold out within, and no lie, within a week or two, I had all the money to give to the person who was actually developing this project for me. Shout out to Madonna. If you know her, you know her. She's the bomb. She did the design of the cover and everything. And we pushed the book out. She like, you know, in a month you're gonna put out a pre-sale. And I'm like, a pre-sale? I'm not ready. Like, I'm not ready. I'm ready, but I'm not ready. She like, it's time. And like, I put the pre-sale out, and we had like 100 books sold in like a day or two. So it was like, it's just been crazy. It's just been blessed. Like, everybody wants to hear my story. Everybody wants to hear how I did it mostly. You know, it's like, how did you push through, and how did you find the motivation behind this? And it was just like, people always come to me like, I got this problem, different problems, you know what I mean? And that's what made me come up with the consultant agency, because I'm like, how can I charge people for always asking me all these questions all the time? They want to ask me all these different questions. And so with the book, that's why I was like, I feel like, you know, you got to be a whole person, become a whole person in order for you to walk into your purpose, and in order for you to decide what type of business you want to run, and, you know, why you running it. Like, you have this studio. I'm pretty sure it's a whole story behind this. You ain't just get up one day and like, I'm gonna open the studio today. It took time, you know what I mean? You had to do some soul searching. You had to figure out, you had to weed out the people around you. You had to see who was who. You had a lot to do. So it's like, you know, people think it's just business and it's that end part, but what motivates that business? What drives that business? What's behind that? That's gonna keep you moving forward.
So you know all about that pushing through. That's probably something you've been going through your whole life. Like,
whole life.
I don't think, like, a lot of people see things that we do today and they don't realize that, like, it's been like that since a child. Like, you had to always make a way. Like, and that's your life, to know that, like, I gotta always do this. Like you said, changing your friends and all that. Like, I do that. Is that, well, this is how I see most people quit, is the continuation. You understand? Like, once you start fishing, you're a fisherman. Like, you always fishing. You understand what I'm saying? So that rule apply. Like, when you know you gotta trade your friends, and it never stops. Right. Sometimes you know, like, oh, it's time for time. It's a constant. It's a constant thing.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, man, I think that you got a very inspiring story. I think what I really thought was real unique is how you remember your dreams. Cause, yo, I used to be the boy that, like, dream, wake up, and make the dream come true. Now I'm the boy that go to sleep and can't catch a dream. I sleep good, but I don't remember shit. So it's like, I had to just accept it. Like, damn, I'm really being a new person faster, like, every day. I can't even keep the dream. So I think that was super dope. Can you still do that?
Yeah, it still happens. Like, I have a lot of different things going on, you know, and I'm constantly trying to better, like, my community, better myself. You know, and that's, a lot of people say it's cliche, but that's really what I do. Like, I try to create the vibe. I want other girls that's from my neighborhood to know this shit's possible. Like, you can really do this. You know what I mean? This is major to me. Like, I never thought nobody would want to read what the hell I went through or what I've been through. You know what I'm saying? So it's like constantly trying to create that vibe. And I think it's like you in tune with your spirituality and you're in tune with who you are. I don't know if it's I don't know. I don't like to say it's a gift. I'm not superior to anybody, but what I'm saying is that I just listen to myself.
Yeah. And
my mind's constantly going. So all day my mind's going. I think that when I go to sleep, I'm forced to, like, be still. And I be in it. And I wake up every day and I'm like, well, damn, what was that about? Like, I dream about, like, if I dream about an animal or something, I look it up like, what's that? And it be crazy. So it's like, I don't know. I'm in tune with it.
That's what's up. Let's go back a little bit. You know what I mean? Let's go back to maybe, like, Jill, middle school, going to high school. How was it for you back then? Like, basically, like, how you remember life being?
Yeah, it was a difficult.
What school did you go to? Like, did you hang out with people? Like, what was Jill doing? I was
like the cute, like,
ninth
the cute
grade
girl, cute girl that was a cheerleader type. You know what I mean? When I was in school, but then I always had, like, this little other rough side to me too. So I went to 3 different high schools. I got kicked out of all the high schools that I went to.
So you fighting?
I did. That was.
What was most of them fights about?
Boys all the time.
The prettiest girls fight over all the boys.
But it'd be like, I don't even like these boys in this school, or I like all the boys outside of school, and y'all mad about these boys in school. I don't like boys my age, so, you know, But it was always that. So I went to 3 different high schools. I was always it was always something about some dirty little boy that I ain't even want, you know, type of thing. So that's what that was. But I mean, I loved high school. I wish I could go back.
They don't see, but you in it is like, I'm trying to get out of school.
Right.
And
well,
then
I don't think I rushed it. I always just wanted to be my age. I never wanted to be older.
Yeah.
Nothing. But I used to see older. I see like fly girls in their cars and like their little cribs and shit. I'm like, oh, I'm getting me a nice car. That's the type of time I was on. But I was always like the pretty girl. They start with me and they didn't know I was about that for real. So.
you ready to fight. So who made you tough? Like, how did you learn to fight?
My sister.
Let's talk about big sis.
Yeah, my sister. She no longer with us, and I'll talk about that in the book. But I had one rock solid person. That was her. She was like, she raised us to be tough. We ain't have no dad or nothing like that. So anything went down, I called big sis. They hate to see her coming. She was 6 foot, big mama. And she taught me, she's the type I be call her. I got in a fight. Did you win? All right, I'm going to call you later. Like, that was her. And a lot of people know her. A lot of people know her in the city because how she used to get down. But she passed away in 2005. And that was, like, a lot of the motivation behind me wanting to be who I am today was her.
Yeah.
She taught me how to grind. She taught me how to hustle. She taught me how to make money. When I tell you she made money every type of way you could imagine. And this was back before being an entrepreneur was, you know, the thing or having a business. She just taught me how to grind and she never sat still. And so it was like, we didn't have no choice but to be that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? My mom always worked and stuff. My sister was creative. Like, she would find different ways to make money. And, like, we never went without nothing. You know what I mean? She was 13 years older than me. So she was like my mom for real. You know what I mean? So... yeah, that's the one.
Rest in peace, big sis.
Yes.
What's big sis name?
Peaches.
Rest in peace, Peaches.
Yes.
She put that in you.
If you knew her, like.
Hey, look what she put in. You still doing it today.
Yes.
She showed you how to make that money, like you said, like through different ways. The hustler in me. Well, what chapter is she in?
She's in my balance. My balance, because I talk about how she always hustled, but she never took care of herself. You know what I mean? Like, I never...
What do you mean by that when you
like
say always hustle but never take care of yourself?
She always was doing all these different things. Like, she was always working here, doing this person here, doing this, doing that. But I never seen her say, like, oh, I'm going to go on a trip and leave all the kids here and just do something for myself. Or, like, I never seen her, like, exercise or, like, worry about her health. You know what I mean? And ultimately, that was what took her out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Worrying about everybody else.
Yeah, worrying about everybody else. So I talk about her in balance, and it's like sometimes I be having to shut off everything and everybody. Like, I love y'all, but I got to take care of me. Because if I don't take care of me, I can't take care of nobody else.
Right.
I can't take care of my kids, my nieces. My sister had 5 kids, so when she left 5 girls. They still are like my kids to this day. Everybody needs something. So I got them 5 plus 3. Now they starting to have kids. But if I can't take care of me, I can't take care of y'all.
Right.
So it's like sometimes I got to go and do not disturb. Sometimes I got to take, if you see me traveling or going back, I'm out. I got to take care of me. I'll be back. And y'all good till I get back. So.
Driven.
Yeah.
So are you religious? Religious person?
Yeah, yes.
What religion?
Not religious. I'm not super religious. I'm very in tune with my spirituality. But I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
My mom's a Jehovah's Witness. And that's where I kind of like keep grounded at. You know, I don't do everything I'm supposed to do. I'm not a representation of that organization, but I know there's a lot of things I need to do. But that's my religion. Like, that's my religion. That's my go-to.
Family religion.
That's my family religion. Yep.
Mine's is Islam.
I love Islam.
I'm
love
Muslim.
certain things about Islam is amazing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Straight
I love
up.
it.
So let's talk a little bit about saving yourself from yourself. Oh, you already know what I'm about to say.
I highlight that a lot in the book. Like, some of this stuff that I went through, it was because of stuff I knew better not to do. And it's like, we do stuff like, and we say, oh, I got to live my own life. You can't tell me, you can't da-da-da. But it's like, you probably could have saved yourself if you would have listened to somebody that told you not to do that first. You know what I mean? And so, basically, is that, like, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Get some help. If you don't know, ask somebody. Like, don't just go out there willy-nilly trying to figure it out on your own. Like, if I would have known what I know now when I was a younger girl, it's a lot of stuff I wouldn't have did. And I wouldn't have had to go through had I just checked myself. You know what I mean? But, you know, you had that thing in your head, I'll figure it out. I got to do this. I got to experience this on my own, but that's not always the case. So that's basically what that is. Saving yourself from yourself.
You get a better version of yourself faster that way.
Yeah.
By taking other people's advice,
Take the advice. And that's what I love most about my kids is that I feel like my kids takes the advice because my kids will tell me, "Minute, I don't want to be like you. I want to be like you.
Yeah.
I don't want to go through what you went through. That wasn't smart." And what can you say? Like, right, you right. But they watched and they paid attention, and now they understand. So it's like that's basically what that sums that up to be. Yeah.
Straight up. So that's why y'all gotta pick up the book. You feel me? We giving y'all a little sneak peek,
right?
A little synopsis, and then y'all getting the backstory on all this, so y'all know that this is all driven off of real shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like real shit. She had to fight her way through high school and still be a pretty girl. You feel me? Life was hard for a player. You feel me?
I wish that was the least of the problem.
So let's tell them the 7 pillars that you have in the book.
We have hold on. Go back in here and say. So it's spirituality, relationships, balance, self-love, success, happiness. I think that's all of them. I think that was 7.
And what is your favorite one?
My favorite one is self-love. Self-love. I wish more people like really understood what that meant.
Do you feel like you reached that at a certain age? Do you feel like self-love isn't taught? I feel like that dependency as a child, like being born right away, you kind of taught dependency. If your mom's breastfeeding you taught dependency, so it's an exterior thing that you taught. So it's not really interior. I feel like you gotta kind of get beat up so much, and then you start looking interior. Is it like that, or is it some people know right away?
It could go both ways. I wouldn't just put a label on it. I definitely know some young women who definitely exhibit and exude self-love at a young age. And I feel like it's, again, the dependency where they were fed that at an early age. Where some of us were fed survival and self-love was put on the back burner. You don't even get to talk about that. We just going to talk about how we going to pay the bills this month, what we going to eat today. So self-love is not high on the list of priority of things that you're taught when you're younger. And I feel like, you know, that's why I try to do the things that I do to teach women. Like, you wouldn't believe some of the things that some women tell me that they're going through. And I remember that. And I talk about that in the book when I went through domestic violence and stuff like that. So it's like,
how do you get through that?
Man, I don't know. I prayed my way up out of that one. I prayed my way up out of that one. And it's kind of hard to tell people that when that's in the mix because they don't know what to do. And it's like you try to give them the, one, step 2, but it's really not that easy. It actually has to be, for one, you have to realize that there's a problem. And then 2, you have to realize you have to act on this problem. And then what happens after that is kind of like God bring you through that. Because it's like there was no way that I got out of my situation. It was only that got me out of that situation.
Praying.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What part of the city you grew up in?
I'm from uptown, from Harrisburg. Grew up on 6th and Seneca Street.
Oh, you from the heart of uptown,
yeah.
6th Street.
Yeah. It was different then than it is today. But, yeah, so I think that's just, that's how I got through it. So I just try to tell people, you just got to pray about your situation, try to find the answers, because you ain't going to be ready to leave until you're ready to leave. Or you ain't ready to leave the situation until you're ready to leave the situation. But yeah, I think the self-love thing could be some sort of dependency. Somebody has to teach you somewhere along the way. You're not just born like, oh, I'm full of love, and then you go out and your mom's getting beat up by her boyfriend or something. You know what I mean? It's something you do learn along the way. But yeah, that was my favorite chapter. That's my favorite everything. Like, I just try to find different ways to love myself every day, no matter what my flaws are. You know what I mean? Because if I love myself, I'll never have to look for it in somebody else. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that's a bad thing where I'm like self-sufficient in that area, but I don't ever have to look at it for another person, not a man, not a female, nothing. I love myself.
Find it in yourself 1st. Then you just get a little extra from somebody else.
Yeah, whatever flows out the top, you know.
So how does Jill spoil her man?
Ooh, let's get into it.
Let's get it cracking.
Let's
How
talk about
do you
it.
spoil you?
I'm going to just say there ain't nothing that I won't do, first of all. And then I'm going to say, well, this weekend, I had like a whole self-care thing set up for me and my husband. I had a masseuse come in, somebody come in and do facials. Then we went on a date. And that's just my appreciation for my man. Like, he works hard. He works 5 days a week. He works 2 jobs. He takes care of our kids. Our kids don't want for nothing. I don't want for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I try to every chance that I can show him that I appreciate that, because it's hard out here right now for black men.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's hard out here for black men.
Sure.
You know, some days when he leave, I don't know if he's going to come back. Yeah. You feel me? So we just moved into this space after we went through our rocky point. We've been together for 13 years. So after we went through this rocky point, it was like we need to show each other every day how much we appreciate each other, because it could be going tomorrow.
Right.
And then we be sitting here looking stupid with a wish I coulda, woulda, did it. Why not just do it now? Why not just do it now? So ain't nothing I won't do for my man. I love my man. Yeah. 13 years, 3 kids. Listen.
That's what's up. So what makes you smile? How can hubby spoil you on the back end? Like,
he always buys me stuff. I like stuff like that. But let me think. I like surprises. Surprises, yeah.
You big into the zodiac and stuff like that?
Nah. But I like surprises though. So like today, he like pick 1, 2, 3, or 4, and that's where you going for your birthday. And I picked the number. I don't know where I'm going.
Oh, you don't
even know where I'm going.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I said, just tell me how to pack. He said, don't wear nothing. Say less.
Right.
Like, you know
ready.
what I mean? Like, that's the type of stuff that I like. That's the type of shit I like. So, yeah.
So, you know, Harrisburg, nightlife, you know, pre-pandemic, you know what I mean? Where would you hang out at? Where would you go to have a good time in Harrisburg?
District. That's my spot. District. I miss District. I'm more of a happy hour brunch girl now that I'm older. Like, I don't do the clubs and stuff like that. I'm past that. Like, my son does that type of stuff. But, yeah, District, like a happy hour or Crawdaddy's happy hour type thing.
What you like about the District?
The
food. we keep it 100 on the Supadupaa show. We gotta let y'all know what's good.
The food was the bomb. The music was the bomb. I love when he had a DJ while he was eating, and I like the ambiance. Like, it's nice. Like, it's a nice place. Like, I don't like going somewhere and it's like it ain't up to par. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the District. And I like S&Ds every now and again too. Now, don't get me fucked up. Like,
S&Ds, straight up. So that's how I go.
Yep.
When you in Harrisburg, we at the District.
Yep.
S&Ds.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Little crawdaddies.
Little crawdaddies.
You know what I mean? If you need your studio time or you try and get lit, come to Pro Sound. That's how we carrying it.
In the gold room.
If you got a little straight up. If you got a little fair flying, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to recommend you pick up Crush. I keep calling it Crush, but it's Crush Your Fair Flying. Yeah. But I want to call it Crush for some reason. So what made you choose the cover like this? Like, you know, most authors, you see their face and stuff like that.
I did not want my face on it. I didn't want my face. I wanted anybody to walk into a bookstore and pick it up. I didn't want a white man to see it and be like, oh, no, I ain't buying it because it's a Mexican girl in there. They might think I'm Mexican. I don't know. They don't know what I am. Like, they might, you know what I mean? Everybody has their preferences. So I was like, I told the editor, I said, I want something that anybody would pick up. I didn't want my face on it. A lot of people see my name on a lot of stuff, but my name is what sells. That's what sells. That's my talent, right? So I don't like to have my face on stuff all the time. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I really don't want a book because it's with the face on. I feel like that's really vain. I wanted it to just be about whoever picked up the book. Right. You know what I mean? If it attracted you, if you read it, whatever, you read it because of you just wanted to read it, not because my face was on the book. So that's why I picked this cover like that. Where could this book, like, where's it sold? On Amazon. Go on Amazon and search either my name or even the title, Crush Your Fear Flying, and it pops up on Amazon.
Yeah, we'll put your link too into the
Okay.
description of the video.
Run that thing up on Amazon. Trying to be on New York's bestseller.
Straight up. So, what's next? Tell us the future for Jill and the future for KZM Enterprise.
Right, right. So I'm moving into another space in my life, and a lot of people don't see the correlation, but I understand the correlation. So on the low, I be delivering babies on the low. Like my friends have home births, and I be there helping them deliver their babies.
What do you mean home births?
Doula. I'm going to be a doula, so I'll be certified in October to be a doula. So that means that I can assist women in childbirth
At home.
at home or the hospital, wherever they want to have babies. And I'm like 7 births in right now. So like I always say I'm the diva, the doula, birthing babies in business. That's what I do. So like I mean I'm moving into this other life, whereas I brought life before to other things, to people's businesses and their dreams and their ideas, to now actually birthing life. So I'm moving into that role. I know that this is gonna be what I do full time. With the climate of the world changing and people afraid to go in hospitals and stuff like that, people are seeking me out already, and I'm not even licensed and certified yet, but it's like I'm getting there. Like, I'll get to that point where I'll be able to go into homes and help women deliver their babies. And my career path has been in healthcare for the past 10 years, and that's what my degree is in. So I have a very strong healthcare background. I know about insurances and everything. So I'm moving to open up my own birthing center where people can come and have their babies either in the birthing center, or it could just be a wealth of resource for women who are having birth. I'm going to be the first Black doula in this area. There is no other African American doulas in this area.
Let's get it.
And I don't know of any other birthing centers in this area either, except for across the river. This does not service our people. It's not a safe space for our people, where our people feel safe to come and just like let it all out. And this space will also serve as a space for women who are homeless and pregnant. So that's a whole nother story. But I did some work over the winter where I work with women in a shelter. And a lot of the women were coming through and they were pregnant, 8 months pregnant and homeless, living outside on the street. So this space will be a safe space for those women to come and get resources, whether it be underwear, a meal, a shower, whatever. So moving into that 2021, I will be profiting 6 figures as far as that's concerned, and also being a resource for my community. So that's what's in the future.
Yeah, I was seeing that the resource for the community, because I thought you was like on your activist tip and your activist bag, because I seen like some little video.
Yeah,
Tell me about that.
Something. Well, no, I think
Was you
a lot of
speaking or
people-
something?
Yeah, I've been doing that for years. Been doing it for years. But my they have reached out to me to talk on the what is it, the Capitol, at the Capitol for something, and that happens often just because of the line of work that I do. So that's a whole nother thing. And when I tell y'all that I'll be moving and sticking and moving, that's what I mean. I'm out here. But listen, they wanted me to talk in regards to racial and social injustice. But that's what I do at my job. Like, I do things in regards to that or whatever. So they wanted to know, like, what was my point of view as far as the political side of things. And it's like, show up. Like, y'all want us to vote. Y'all want us to do this. But we don't see y'all at nothing. We don't see y'all at anything.
Yeah.
Like, we have stuff. You have a grand opening, this person doing this. We don't see none of y'all at anything. You know what I'm saying? So don't ask me to vote. Y'all want kids to vote. Y'all need to show up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Show us some love back.
Yeah.
Before y'all get our vote.
Y'all want to get in office, and it's like, okay, what about the kids at Emerald Street Playground? Like, my son plays there all the time. There's always stuff. Where y'all at when it comes to that? Or when other things is going on, where are these political people that y'all want us to vote y'all in for what? What are y'all going to do?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what I didn't get invited back after I said what I said, but.
So we talking political. We talk a little bit. You got a son.
I got 2 sons.
2 sons and a husband. Mm-hmm. What's your take on like George Floyd and the police officer with black men?
That's like a soft, touchy subject for me. You have to have that conversation all the time. You know what I mean? And I just feel like, I can't say it without really getting choked up about it, because it's a real fucking thing.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand it, you better fucking educate yourself on it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That goes to allies. That goes to people in the community. My sons always tell my son, you don't have to do anything to become a victim to that, but you better lessen your chances of becoming a victim. That means walk straight, do what you're supposed to do. Right. Set an example for your last name and where you come from. You know what I mean? Because if that was to ever happen to any of my sons, they can't put up no mug shots for mine.
Right.
Can't put up no mug shot. I think my kids more scared of me than they would be of the police. I don't play that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, still be individuals and be creative and do the things you want to do. I'll never take that from you. But as far as that street side of shit, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when they put up my son's pictures, it's going to be college photos they got. It's going to be family pictures. They ain't going to find no mug shots. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, but it's difficult to even try to have to put that on your children and say, like, walk a straight line. What's the straight line? Because you could be innocent and still be a victim.
Right. It's already on us. Yeah. Straight up. So that's how we coming, man. You got any shout outs?
Shout out to my mama. Shout out to my mama. Shout out to my kids. Shout out to my husband. And shout out to my sister. And that's that. Like, that's it.
You got any last words, anything you want to tell to the people that you want them to know?
Just go cop my book on Amazon. If you read it, leave me a review. The reviews mean everything on Amazon. Crush your fear of flying. Never give up on yourself. Don't let nobody tell you that you're doing too much. If they do, they ain't doing enough. And get these coins. That's it.
Run that bag up.
Run that bag.
That's what she trying to tell y'all. Run that bag up. It's 2020. Everybody get into $1 right now. Make sure y'all doing stuff because this is with the women going into quarantine and coming back out with a completed book.
Right.
You understand? That's like just taking full advantage. She ain't in there watching the whole Netflix catalog and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We working through it. Like every obstacle becomes an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? That's the Supadupaa way, at least. And I see a lot of people out here doing that. So make sure that you're moving forward, pressing forward. The Supadupaa show. You know what I mean? We displaying talent, entrepreneurship, and excellence. See y'all next time.